72. Okay, and our last headword was use of the indefinite articles and an. Okay, so let's start with our revision. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. What does the expression to amuse yourself mean? What does the expression to amuse yourself mean? The
The
expression to
expression
amuse
to
yourself
amuse
means
yourself
to
means
pass the
you
time,
pass the time,
especially when you
especially
have
when
nothing
you will
else
have
to do.
nothing else to do.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. While I was
While I
waiting
was
to see
waiting
the
to
doctor,
see the
I
doctor,
amused
I
myself
amused
by
myself
studying the
by
other
studying
people
the other
in the
people
waiting
in
room,
the waiting
trying
room,
to see
trying to
what they
see
might
what
be
they might
thinking
be
from
thinking
the
on
expressions
the
on their
expressions on
faces.
their faces.
Very good. What kind of amusements are there in your hometown? What kind of amusements are there in your hometown? In my
In
hometown,
my
there are
hometown, there
amusements
are
such
amusements
as
such
cinemas,
as the cinemas,
theaters, etc.
theaters, etc.
Very good. What's a hobby? What's a hobby? A hobby
A
is a
hobby is
regular
a
activity
regular
that
activity
people do
that
in their
people
free
do in
time
their free
for their
time
own
or
amusement rather
amusement
than for
rather
making
than
money.
making money.
Can photography be an expensive hobby? Can photography be an expensive hobby? Yes,
Yes,
photography can
photography
be an
can be
expensive
an
hobby.
expensive hobby.
Very good. Why do some people arrange their CDs or books in alphabetical order on the shelf? Why do some people arrange their CDs or books in alphabetical order on the shelf? Some
Some
people
people
arrange their
arrange
CDs
their
or
CDs
books
or
in
books in
alphabetical order
alphabetical
on the
order
shelf
on
so
their
that
shelf
they are
so
easy to
that they
find.
are easy to find.
Very good. Name some things that people always pack in their suitcase when they go on holiday to a hot country. Name some things that people always pack in their suitcase when they go on holiday to a hot country. Some things
Some
that
things
people
that
always pack
people always
in
packed
their
in
suitcase
their
when they
suitcase
go on
when they
holiday
go on
to
holiday
a hot
to
country
a hot
are
country,
shorts,
shorts,
t-shirts,
t-shirts,
sunglasses,
sunglasses,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Okay. Do you like watching a film in a packed cinema? Do you like watching a film in a packed cinema? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
like
don't like
watching a
watching
film in a
a
packed
film in
cinema.
the packed cinema.
Very good. Name me a flower that's protected by thorns. Name me a flower that's protected by thorns, please. The rose
The
is a
rose
flower
is a
that's
flower that's
protected by
protected
thorns.
by thorns.
Very good. What do we mean when we say we can't afford to do something? What do we mean when we say we can't afford to do something? When we say
When we
we
say
can't
we can't
afford to do
afford to do
something, we
something,
mean
we
we
mean
haven't got
we
enough
haven't got
time
enough
or
time
money
or
to do
money
it.
to do it.
Can most people afford to eat in restaurants every day? Can most people afford to eat in restaurants every day? No,
No,
most
most
people can't
people
afford
can't
to eat
afford
in
to eat
restaurants
in
every
a
day.
restaurant every day.
If you were offered 5 free hours of English lessons a day, could you afford the time to take them? If you were offered 5 free hours of English lessons a day, could you afford the time to take them? Yes or no?
No,
If I were
if I
offered
were
five free
offered
hours,
I
five free
five
hours
fully hours
of English
for
lessons a
English
day,
lessons a
I
day,
couldn't
I
afford the
couldn't
time
afford the time
to take them.
take them.
Very good. Do countries always respect the agreements they make with other countries? Do countries always respect the agreements they make with other countries? No.
No,
Countries don't
countries
always
don't
respect
always
the
respect the
agreements
other
they make
agreement they make
with other
with
countries.
other countries.
Very good. When you do the shopping, do you normally use a basket or a trolley? When you do the shopping, do you normally use a basket or a trolley? When I do the
When I
shopping,
do the
I
shopping,
normally
I
use a.
normally use a basket.
Very good. Are nuts good for the health? Are nuts good for the health? Yes,
Yes,
nuts are
nuts
good
are
for the
good
health.
for the health.
Very good. Where could I find information regarding concerts and other events in your area? Where could I find information regarding concert and other events in your area? You could find
You can
information
find information
regarding concerts
regarding
and
concert
other
and
events
other
in my
events
area
in my
by
area
looking in
by
local
looking in the
newspapers,
local newspapers,
visiting website,
visiting website.
etc.
Yeah.
Very good. What kind of material are duvet covers generally made of? What kind of material are duvet covers generally made of? Duvet covers
The web covers
are generally
are
made of
generally
cotton.
ma-
Made of cotton.
made of cotton.
One more. Duvet
The
covers
duvet cover
are generally
uh,
made of
generally
cotton.
made of cotton.
Very good. Why is leather a good material for making bags from? Why is leather a good material for making bags from? Leather is a
Leather
good
is a
material
good
for making
material for
bags
making bags
because it's soft
because it's
but
soft
also
but
very
also
strong.
very strong.
Very good. Why is it a great convenience to have a kitchen near to a dining room? Why is it a great convenience to have a kitchen near to a dining room? It's a great
It's a
convenience
great
to have a
convenience
kitchen
to have a
near
kitchen
to a dining
near
room
to a dining room
because there's less
because
distance
there's less distance
to carry the food.
to carry the food.
But is it important to you to have every modern convenience in your home? Is it important to you to have every modern convenience in your home? Yes or no?
Yes,
It's important
it's
to me
important to
to
me
have every
to have
modern
every
convenience
modern
in my
convenience
home.
in my home.
Would it be convenient for you to come to school at 4 a.m.? Would it be convenient for you to come to school at 4 a.m.? No, it
No,
wouldn't be
it wouldn't
convenient
be
for me
convenient for
to
me
come to
to
school
come to
at
school
4
at
a.m.
4 a.m.
It'd be
It would
inconvenient.
be inconvenient.
Very good. Okay. What are the two basic meanings of the word sensitive? What are the two basic meanings of the word sensitive? The two basic
The two
meanings
basic
of the word
meanings of the
sensitive
word
are
sentence
able to
sensitive are
notice
able to
small
notice
change
small change
or easily
or
hurt
easily
or
hurt
offended.
or
Very good.
offended.
Offended. Very good. What do we mean by a sensitive thermometer? What do we mean by a sensitive thermometer? By a sensitive
By a sensitive
thermometer, we mean a
thermometer, we
thermometer
mean a
that
thermometer
can measure
that can
very
measure
small
very
changes
small
in
changes
temperature.
in temperature.
Are your eyes sensitive to bright light? Are your eyes sensitive to bright light? Yes or no?
Yes,
My
my
eyes are
eyes
sensitive
are
to
sensitive
bright light.
to bright light.
Is it important for teachers to be sensitive to their pupils' feelings? Is it important for teachers to be sensitive to their pupils' feelings? Yes, it's
Yes,
important
it's
for
important
teachers
for
to be
teachers
sensitive
to be
to their
sensitive
pupils'
to their
feelings.
pupils' feelings.
What do we mean if we say that somebody is very sensitive to criticism? What do we mean if we say that somebody is very sensitive to criticism? If we say
If we
that
say
somebody
that
is very
somebody
sensitive
is very sensitive
to criticism,
to
we
criticism,
mean
we
that they
mean
are
that
easily
they
hurt
are easily
or
hurt
offended
or
by
offended by
criticism.
criticism.
Very good. When we're speaking about a person's behavior, what's the opposite of the word stupid? When we're speaking about a person's behavior, what's the opposite of the word stupid? When we're
When
speaking,
we are
one more,
speaking,
when we're
when we
speaking
are speaking
about a person's
about a
behavior,
person's
the
behavior,
opposite
the
of the word
opposite of the
stupid
word
is
stupid
sensible.
is sensible.
Are you sensible with money? Are you sensible with money? Yes or no?
No,
I'm not
I'm not
sensible with
sensible
money.
with money.
Ah, me neither. Okay. Is it sensible to run across the road without looking? Is it sensible to run across the road without looking? No,
Yeah,
it
no,
isn't
it
sensible
isn't
to run
sensible
across the
to
road.
across the
One
road.
more. No, it
No,
isn't
it
sensible
isn't
to
sensible
run
to
across the
run
road
across the road
without looking.
without looking
Why not? Why not? Because we
because
could be hit
it could
by
be
a
hit by
car.
the car.
Very good. Next, is there a big shopping center in your town? Is there a big shopping center in your town? Yes or no?
Yes,
There's a
there
big
is
shopping
a big
center
shopping
in my
center
town.
in my town.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're
You
balancing
are
your pen
balancing your
on
pen
your
on
finger.
your finger.
Right? If you add up figures in an accounts book and find they don't balance, what must you do? If you add up figures in an accounts book and find they don't balance, what must you do? If you add
If
up
you add
figures,
of
one more.
figures,
If you add
if
up
you add of
figures in
figures
an
in
accounts
an
book
account book
and find
and
they
find
don't
they
balance,
don't
you
balance,
must add
you
them up
must
again.
uh,
Add them up
add,
again.
add them up again.
Very good. If we had 100 pounds between us and I took 75 pounds and gave the balance to you, how much would you get? If we had 100 pounds between us and I took 75 pounds and gave the balance to you, how much would you get? If we had
If we had
100 pounds
100 pounds
between us
between
and you
us
took
and you took
75 pounds
75
and
pounds
gave the
and
balance
gave
to
the
me,
balance to
I'd
me,
get
I get
25 pounds.
25 pounds.
Very good. What is basically the meaning of the verb to bind? What is basically the meaning of the verb to bind? Basically, the meaning
Basically,
of
the
the
meaning
verb to
of the
bind
verb to
is to
bind
tie.
is to tie.
What are the three forms of bind? What are the three forms of bind? The three
The three
forms of
forms
bind
of the bind
are bind,
are
bound,
bind,
bound.
bound, bound.
Very good. Okay, next. What does the idiom hit the nail right on the head mean? What does the idiom hit the nail right on the head mean? The idiom
The
hit
idiom
the
"hit
nail
the
right
nail
on the
on
head
right on the
means
head"
say
means
something
say
that
something that
identifies a problem
identifies a
or
problem or
situation
situation
exactly, or
exactly,
say
or
something
say
that
something
is
that
exactly
is
right.
exactly right.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. He hit the nail.
He hit the nail.
One more. He hit the
He
nail
hit the nail
right on the head.
right on the
And
head,
then we
and
could see
then
the
we could
problem
see the problem
perfectly.
perfectly.
Very good. When we use a noun for the first time in a conversation, do we use the article a or the? When we use a noun for the first time in a conversation, do we use the article a or the? When we use
And
a
we
noun
use
for the first
now for
time
the first
in a
time in
conversation,
a
we
conversation.
use
We
the
use
article
the
a.
article up.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Hi, Jessica.
Uh, I just called.
I've just bought
I've just
a
bought
new computer
a new
and a
computer
printer
and
too.
a printer too.
Very good. If we then refer to the same things or person again, do we normally use a or the? If we then refer to the same thing or person again, do we normally use a or the? If we then
If we
refer
then refer
to the same
to
thing
the same
or
things
person
or
again,
person
we
again,
normally
we
use the.
normally use the
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Hi, Jessica.
I just
I've
called.
just bought
I just
a
bought
new
a
computer
new
and a
computer
printer
and a
too.
printer
The
too. The
computer is really
computer
good,
is really
but
good,
I'm not
but
sure
I'm not
about the
sure
printer.
about the
It
printer.
was very
It
cheap.
was very cheap.
In which situations do we use the definite article the when we use a noun for the first time? In which situations do we use the definite article the when we use a noun for the first time? We use
We
the
use
definite
the
article
definite
the
article
when
the
we use
when
a
we use
noun for the
a
first
noun for
time
the first time
only when the
only
speaker
when the
and
speaker
the listener
and the
both
listener
know
or both know
who or what
who
is
or
being
what
talked
is
about.
being talked about.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. The book
The book
which is on the
which is
table
on the
is
table
yours.
is yours.
Very good. Do we use the indefinite article when we talk about people's jobs? Do we use the indefinite article when we talk about people's jobs? Yes, we
Yes,
use
we
the
use
indefinite
the
article
indefinite
when we
article
talk
when
about
we talk about
people's jobs.
people's jobs.
Wait, would you like to be an actress? Would you like to be an actress? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't
I
like
wouldn't
to
like
be an
to be
actress.
an actress.
Do you know anyone who works as a waiter? Do you know anyone who works as a waiter? Yes or no?
No,
I
I
don't know
don't know
anyone who
anyone
works
who
as a
works
waiter.
as a waiter.
As a waiter.
As a waiter.
Very good. And that's the end of our revision. Very good, very fast. Let's have new word. Okay, so repeat. Note.
Note.
Note down.
Note down.
Take notes.
Take notes.
Notebook.
Notebook.
Banknote.
Banknote.
Key.
Key.
Keyboard.
Keyboard.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word note can be a noun and a verb. As a noun, it is something that you write down to remind you. For example, I made a note of her address and phone number. Another meaning of note as a noun is a particular musical sound or a symbol representing the sound. For example, of those are full note, half note, and quarter note. Women can normally sing higher notes than men. As a verb, note means to notice or pay attention to something. For example, I don't note anything different about this room from the last lesson. Note down is a phrasal verb. It means to write something that you want to remember. For example, I note down all the new English words I hear. Take notes is a phrasal verb. It means to record what one hears in order to help recall them later. Notebook is a noun. For example, I don't take notes in the notebook during the lesson. Banknote is a noun. It is also known as bills or paper money. For example, the banknotes of my country are orange, red, violet, green, yellow, and blue. Keyboard is a noun. Okay. Key is a noun. It is any of the set of moving parts that you press with your finger on a computer. Key. keyboard or musical instrument. For example, each key on a piano keyboard plays a different note. Let's practice. Do you note down all the new English words you hear? Do you note down all the new English words you hear? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
note
don't
down
know the
all the new
all
English
the new
words
English
I
words
hear.
I hear.
Where do you take notes in a notebook during the lesson? Do you take notes in a notebook during the lesson? Yes or no?
No,
I don't take notes
I don't take
in a
notes
notebook
in a
during the
notebook
lesson.
during the lesson.
One more. No, I don't
No,
take
I
note
don't take
in a
note
notebook
in a notebook
during the lesson.
during the lesson
Why not? Why not? Because if I
because
did,
if I
I
did,
couldn't give
I
my
couldn't
full
give
attention
my full
to
attention
what was being said.
what was
Being said.
being said
Very good. One more. Because if I
because
did,
if
I
I did,
couldn't give
I
my
couldn't
full
give
attention
my full
to what
attention
was
to
being
what was
said.
being said.
Do you note anything different about this room from last lesson? Do you note anything different about this room from last lesson? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I
note
don't
anything
know
different
anything different
about that
about
room
that
from
room
last
of,
lesson.
from last lesson.
What color are the banknotes of your country? What color are the banknotes of your country? The
The
banknotes of my
banknotes
country
of my
are
country are
what colors?
beige,
Beige, let's say brown, etc.
brown, etc.
Reggae, can women normally sing higher notes than men? Can women normally sing higher notes than men? Yes,
Yes,
women can
women
normally sing
can normally
higher
sing
notes than
higher
men.
notes than men.
Does each key on a piano keyboard play a different note? Does each key on a piano keyboard play a different note? Yes, each
Yes,
key
each
on a
key
piano
on
keyboard
a piano keyboard
plays a different
plays
note.
a different note.
Very good. What's the difference between a note and a letter? What's the difference between a note and a letter? The difference
The
between
difference
a note
between
and
a
a
note
letter
and
is
a
that
is
a
that
note
a
is
note
normally
is
shorter
normally
than
shorter
a letter
than a
and
letter
less formal.
and less formal.
Very good. Next, repeat. Armor.
Formal.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word armor is a noun. Okay, so it is a special clothing that people wear to protect their bodies from weapons. For example, soldier wore armor in the old days to protect themselves in battle. Let's practice. Why did soldiers wear armor in the old days? Why did soldiers wear armor in the old days? Soldiers wore
Soldiers
armor
wear
in the
armor
old
in
days
the old
to
days
protect
to
themselves
protect
in battle.
themselves in battle.
Very good. Next, repeat spread.
Spread.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word spread is a verb. It means to become larger or to affect a larger area. For example, we can prevent a fire from spreading by making everything around it wet. Let's practice. How can we prevent a fire from spreading? How can we prevent a fire from spreading? We can prevent
We
a
can
fire
prevent
from
a
spreading
fire from
by
spreading
making
by
everything
making
around it
everything
wet.
around it wet
Very good. Next, repeat all over.
all over.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word all over is an adjective. It means covering the whole surface of something. For example, I don't think people are basically the same all over the world. Let's practice. Do you think people are basically the same all over the world? Do you think people are basically the same all over the world? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think
I
people
think
are
people
basically the
are
same
basically the same
all over the
all
world.
over the world.
Very good. Next, repeat fascinated.
Fascinated.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word fascinated is an adjective. It means extremely interested. For example, I visited a particular part of the world simply because I was fascinated by the local culture. Let's practice. Have you ever visited a particular part of the world simply because you were fascinated by the local culture? Have you ever visited a particular part of the world simply because you were fascinated by the local culture? Yes or no?
Yes,
I visited
I visited
a particular
a
part of
particular
the world
part of the world
simply because
simply
I
because
was
I
fascinated
was
by the
fascinated
local
by the
culture.
local culture.
Very good. Next, repeat scene,
Seeing
murderer,
murder
evidence.
evidence.
That's very good. Listen. The word scene is a noun. It is the place where an accident, a crime, etc. happened. Murderer is a noun. It is someone who kills another person. Evidence is a noun. It means facts or signs that show clearly what something exists or is true. For example, I think murderers sometimes return to the scene of their crime because they think that they have left some evidence there. A court can't find someone guilty of a crime if there's no evidence. Let's practice. Why do you think murderers sometimes return to the scene of their crime? Why do you think murderers sometimes return to the scene of their crime? I think
I
murderers
think
sometimes
murderers
return
sometimes
to
return
the scene of their
to the
crime
scene of the crime
because they think
because they
that
think
they may
that
have
they
left
may have
some evidence
left some
there.
evidence there.
Very good. Okay. Can a court find someone guilty of a crime if there's no evidence? Can a court find someone guilty of a crime if there's no evidence? No. A
No,
court can't
a court
find
can claim
someone guilty of a
someone
crime
guilty of a crime
if there is
if
no
there is
evidence.
no evidence.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading. Okay, so our reading is at stage 7, paragraph page 560. The last headword was filled down. Okay, please start at page 561. Identify identity.
Identify